Have you ever wondered what really happens when a narcissist is completely alone, when no one is around to admire them, obey them, or feed their ego? We all know that in public, narcissists work tirelessly to craft a perfect image. They project confidence, charm, authority, and even warmth when it suits their goals. Their public persona is carefully rehearsed, a performance meant to win attention and admiration. But what happens when the curtain falls? What do they do when they step away from the stage and retreat into the privacy of their own space, perhaps behind the locked door of their bathroom? Are they still that same polished, self-assured person, or does an entirely different side emerge once no one is watching? Behind closed doors, narcissists often reveal behaviors that contrast sharply with the confident image they show the world. The bathroom, that private, solitary space, becomes one of the few places where their mask can slip. It's a space where vanity, insecurity, and obsession collide. Away from their audience, they might spend long periods scrutinizing their appearance in the mirror, adjusting, posing, and rehearsing facial expressions, all to ensure that the image they present to the world remains flawless. What may seem like simple grooming to most people can, for a narcissist, become an intense ritual of self-affirmation. In this quiet, private setting, the truth about their inner world begins to show. The same person who appears so composed in public may now be silently battling insecurity. They might stare at themselves for minutes or even hours, seeking imperfections, then immediately trying to erase or hide them. Every wrinkle, blemish, or perceived flaw becomes a threat to their fragile self-image. Their reflection is both their greatest source of pride and their deepest source of anxiety. What you see in public, the confidence, the control, is sustained by these secret, obsessive moments of self-monitoring. It's not only about appearance. The bathroom for a narcissist can also become a space of emotional release or self-talk. They might mutter to themselves, replay arguments, and craft imaginary conversations where they always win. Even in solitude, the narcissist's mind remains a battlefield of control, defense, and self-protection. They rehearse their next move, plan their next performance, and practice how to maintain dominance in the relationships that sustain them. The mirror, in this way, becomes their audience, the only one they can truly trust to reflect back the image they need to see. In this video, we'll dive deeper into these strange, revealing habits that narcissists exhibit when no one is there to watch. From their relentless focus on their physical appearance to the subtle ways they reinforce their self-importance, every behavior tells a story. These private rituals, though they may seem harmless or even trivial, reveal how deeply their narcissism seeps into every corner of their life. What they do in these solitary moments is not random. It's a continuation of the act they live every day, only stripped of its audience. By the end of this video, you'll have a much clearer understanding of how narcissism isn't something that switches on and off depending on who's around. It permeates everything, even their most personal, private routines. You'll see how their need for admiration, control, and perfection follows them everywhere, even into the quietest moments of their lives. So stay with us until the end, because these eye-opening insights will change the way you see the narcissist's world forever. Once you glimpse what they do when no one's looking, you'll understand the depth of their obsession and the fragile illusion they fight so hard to maintain. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with more content that dives deep into the behaviors of narcissists and how to handle them. Let's explore this fascinating and often repulsive aspect of narcissistic personalities. Let's start with something that many people might find shocking. Narcissists are obsessed with their image. This goes far beyond their social media presence, beyond the public interactions where they constantly need validation. Even when they are in the bathroom, their obsession with perfection and appearance is on full display. Over-the-top grooming rituals. Narcissists frequently engage in grooming rituals that go far beyond what most people would consider normal or healthy. These rituals are often excessive, with time spent on perfecting their appearance far exceeding what is typical for others. For narcissists, Grooming isn't just a daily routine. It's an opportunity to maintain and bolster their carefully curated image. It can involve anything from spending hours in front of the mirror, meticulously ensuring their hair, skin and body are just right, to performing a range of grooming tasks with a level of precision that borders on obsession. Whether they're adjusting their hair, applying layers of skincare, or inspecting their body for any imperfections, every detail matters. They devote an overwhelming amount of time to making sure they appear flawless, even when no one is around to witness it. This behavior is not about simply looking good, it's about creating and maintaining an image of perfection, a visual facade that allows them to feel superior, even in private. Narcissists are not just preoccupied with how they look. They are intensely focused on controlling how others perceive them. This drive to control their image is so deep-rooted that they can't help but invest excessive amounts of energy into ensuring that their physical appearance is in top form. The bathroom, often the only private space where they have full control over their environment, becomes a sanctuary for self-admiration and grooming rituals. Here, they can examine themselves in complete isolation without interference from the world around them. It's a place where they can shape their image to match their idealized vision of themselves, free from judgment or the need for validation from others. The longer they spend perfecting their looks, the more validation they derive from their own reflection. This ritual is not an act of self-care. It is an attempt to feed their ego by reinforcing their sense of perfection and superiority. When a narcissist spends hours in front of the mirror, it's not simply about admiring themselves for the sake of their well-being or personal comfort. Their grooming practices are tied to their deeper psychological need for constant affirmation and admiration. Their physical appearance becomes closely tied to their self-worth. In their mind, looking perfect is not just an option. It's essential to their identity and their sense of value. The more time they spend grooming themselves, the more they reinforce their belief that they are deserving of admiration and admiration alone. Every detail, from the way their hair is styled to the way their skin appears, must meet the impossibly high standards they set for themselves. In these moments, they are not seeking validation from others. They are seeking it from their reflection. Despite the excessive time and effort spent on their grooming, this behavior often reveals deeper insecurities and self-doubt. Because narcissists are constantly seeking external validation, they are never truly satisfied with their appearance. Even after hours spent perfecting their look, they may still find flaws to fixate on. They may become hypercritical of their physical attributes, no matter how minor, because their sense of worth is so heavily dependent on their ability to meet the unrealistic standards they set for themselves. This leads to a cycle of obsession where the narcissist's need for perfection grows, but the satisfaction of meeting their own standards is fleeting. In many cases, they will constantly revisit their grooming rituals, trying to correct any imperfections, even when no one is watching. Their need to control their image becomes an all-consuming drive, as the reflection in the mirror represents not just their appearance, but their sense of value and self-esteem. This excessive grooming behavior also speaks volumes about the narcissist's relationship with themselves. They are not concerned with self-care in the true sense of the word, looking after their well-being or health. Instead, grooming becomes a performance, a tool to maintain an image that is carefully crafted to impress others and feed their fragile ego. It's an outward show that masks an inner insecurity, a need for external validation that can never truly be fulfilled. No matter how much effort they put into their appearance, there's always a sense of dissatisfaction, a nagging feeling that they haven't done enough to ensure their perfection. This need for continuous validation can lead them to obsess over their looks, as they chase a fleeting sense of worth that is ultimately hollow and short-lived. 2. Constantly checking their phone or social media. A habit that is frequently seen in narcissists, even in the most private of spaces like the bathroom, is their constant need to check their phone or social media accounts. For narcissists, this behavior is more than just a casual glance at their device. It is an addiction. They are constantly driven by the need for validation and affirmation, and social media provides them with the perfect avenue to feed their insatiable ego. Whether it's a quick scroll through Instagram, checking how many likes their latest photo has received, or eagerly searching for compliments and praise in the comments, their phone becomes a key tool in their ongoing quest for admiration. Even in a private setting, like the bathroom, they can't seem to resist the pull of their phone. It's as though their need for validation is so overwhelming that it must be fed at all times, even when they're engaged in other activities. They might find themselves spending more time scrolling through their social media feeds than actually focusing on any other task in the bathroom, like brushing their teeth or washing their face. For a narcissist, checking their phone becomes an essential part of their grooming ritual, an act that goes beyond personal hygiene. It's about ensuring that they are still receiving the recognition they crave, even if it's just from a few digital interactions. The instant gratification they get from seeing likes, comments, and positive feedback on their posts becomes a powerful reinforcement of their self-worth, giving them a temporary boost to their ego. Have you ever wondered why a narcissist seems so glued to their phone, unable to look away even when they should be focused on something else? It's because their constant need for validation is so deeply ingrained in their psyche that they cannot afford to let it go even for a moment. Their fixation on social media is not just about staying connected with friends or family. It is about ensuring that their self-image is constantly reinforced by external sources. Unlike most people who use social media as a tool for staying in touch or sharing experiences, narcissists use it as a form of validation. They are not content with receiving compliments or praise occasionally. They need it continuously in real time to maintain their fragile sense of self-worth. By repeatedly checking their phone, narcissists are essentially creating a cycle where they receive constant reinforcement of their image. They are never truly satisfied with the attention they've already gotten. They need more, and they need it now. The bathroom, often a place where they can be alone with their thoughts, becomes an ideal space for indulging in this habit. In this private environment, they feel free to check their social media without any interruptions or distractions, allowing them to fully immerse themselves in the validation they crave. This reinforces the idea that their self-worth is directly tied to the attention and admiration they receive from others, often in the form of likes, comments, and shares. The more positive feedback they get, the more satisfied they feel, but this satisfaction is fleeting, requiring them to check their phone again and again to maintain their ego boost. This constant need for validation also reveals a deeper fear within the narcissist, the fear of being ignored or forgotten. They are terrified of fading into the background or losing their relevance, and social media becomes a way for them to stave off this fear. In their minds, as long as they are receiving attention online, they can be certain that they are being seen, acknowledged, and valued. The idea of not receiving praise or being overlooked is deeply unsettling to them, as it threatens the very foundation of their self-esteem. Social media, then, serves as their drug of choice, a means of quickly reinforcing their self-worth with minimal effort. For narcissists, the importance of social media cannot be overstated. It is not simply a way to share life updates or connect with others. It is an essential part of maintaining their self-image. The likes, comments, and shares they receive become a direct reflection of their worth, and the more they get, the better they feel about themselves. This dependence on social media for self-esteem reinforcement can become all-consuming, as they are constantly seeking out new sources of affirmation and approval. Even in moments when they should be focused on other activities, such as getting ready for the day or engaging in self-care, their need for validation pulls them back to their phone, checking and rechecking their social media accounts for new responses. It's a cycle that feeds their ego, but ultimately leaves them in a constant state of hunger for more recognition and praise. 3. Manipulative behavior. Even in private settings, narcissists are notorious for their manipulative behavior, and this trait doesn't disappear when they are alone or in private spaces like the bathroom. While it might seem like a sanctuary where they can simply relax, the bathroom often becomes yet another venue for narcissists to reinforce their need for control and superiority. They will engage in calculated actions that may appear subtle but are designed to maintain their sense of power and influence, even in seemingly insignificant moments. For example, they might leave out expensive toiletries, luxury items, or other lavish accessories in plain sight, ensuring that anyone who enters the space is immediately reminded of their affluence and status. These items, though seemingly innocuous, serve as symbols of their power and self-importance. The narcissist may even position them deliberately so that anyone who uses the bathroom or happens to glance around is subtly reminded of their elevated position. This behavior goes beyond the need for material validation. It is about asserting control. By placing items that denote wealth, beauty, or success in highly visible spots, they ensure that their space is not only a reflection of their identity, but also a demonstration of their dominance. They want others to perceive them as someone who commands attention and admiration, and even in a private setting they are deliberate about maintaining that perception. The bathroom, which might seem like an insignificant space to most people, transforms into an arena for displaying their superiority, even if no one is around to witness it. For a narcissist, the bathroom is not merely a place to take care of personal hygiene or to escape the world. It's an opportunity to reaffirm their sense of control, even in the smallest of details. They may spend time in the bathroom thinking not just about their appearance, but also about how they can manipulate or influence the people around them. Their mind may be busy planning their next move, considering how to assert themselves in future interactions, or figuring out how to maintain their power in relationships. Even in a moment of apparent solitude, they continue to strategize and think about ways to manipulate others, calculating how to stay one step ahead in their social dynamics. Every aspect of their behavior, even when alone, can be calculated to preserve their dominance. The seemingly private and unimportant nature of the bathroom allows narcissists to retreat into their own world, while continuing to plot and manipulate. This time alone, far from being used for genuine relaxation or introspection, is often spent thinking of ways to control or dominate the people in their lives. It may seem like they are simply attending to personal care, but in reality, they are often reflecting on how they can manipulate situations or individuals to their advantage. They may consider how to maintain their hold on those around them, finding new ways to twist circumstances to their benefit, or reassessing how they can use their charm or authority to get what they want. The bathroom is a place where the narcissist can be alone with their thoughts and intentions, free from any interruptions or outside influences. It's in these moments that they are able to think about their strategies and reassess how they can manipulate those around them. Whether it's finding ways to guilt-trip others, maintain control over a partner, or manipulate a colleague, the bathroom serves as a private thinking space where they plot their next move. The sense of control they crave isn't limited to social situations. It extends to every aspect of their life. And even when they are alone, they are plotting how to reinforce that control in the relationships and interactions they have with others. And there you have it. Some of the most disturbing habits narcissists engage in when they think no one is watching. While these behaviors may seem trivial or even laughable to some, they provide crucial insights into the narcissist's mindset and their deep-seated need for validation, control, and superiority. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support allows us to continue creating content that helps you understand narcissistic behavior and how to protect yourself from it. Have you ever experienced these habits firsthand? Leave a comment below and share your story with us. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and remember, when you understand the true nature of narcissists, you can protect yourself and take control of your own life. Keep staying strong and aware.